Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I am doing another breakdown of what to watch for on election night, and today I'm going over the state of North Carolina. Now North Carolina is also a very important state. North Carolina is a swing state, meaning that it's been very competitive in recent presidential elections. It is 15 electoral votes. It voted for President Trump in 2016 and Mitt Romney in 2012. However, President Obama was able to flip it very narrowly in 2008 as a part of his big landslide electoral college win. So, North Carolina is a swing state. It does show presidential trends. North Carolina is more likely to go Republican. However, President Obama did show that when a Democrat is performing very well nationwide, North Carolina can go blue. So really depends on how Joe Biden is doing with President Trump. If Joe Biden's winning across the country in a landslide, Joe Biden could win North Carolina. If President Trump is running competitive with Joe Biden, whether he's winning or losing, if it's very close, President Trump is probably winning North Carolina. However, something interesting to remember is that it's very possible President Trump could win North Carolina and the Republican Senate candidate Thom Tillis could lose his Senate race to Cal Cunningham. So you could have a split ticket in terms of which candidates win. So anyway, with that being said, the state of North Carolina itself, North Carolina is similar to a lot of other swing states I've covered. For a Democratic win, Democrats focus on the bigger cities and try to drive out turnout in those cities. For instance, the city of Charlotte, this is the main voting center. This is one of the main voting centers in North Carolina. Charlotte's a city, very diverse. This is where a lot of Democratic turnout is. Joe Biden and the Democrats need to bring out the turnout in Charlotte. They also need to go to Raleigh and bring out the turnout in Raleigh as well. Raleigh and Charlotte make up for a big percentage of the Democratic votes in this state. You'll be seeing a lot of turnout in these two places. Greensboro, similar to the other two, a big Democratic key voting block. And then also in Fayetteville, it's a little smaller, but this is also another big population center for Democratic votes. So a lot of the Democratic votes come from those four cities or towns or counties or whatever you want to call them, those four cities. There's also some of these smaller, not really rural, but like bluish counties up here. These are kind of like old school Democrat counties, kind of where they're smaller, but they still vote Democrat. And this has been a trend in a lot of recent elections in North Carolina, where they'll have some smaller blue counties more than typical Republican states. However, President Trump did flip and make the margins smaller in some of these blue counties than in previous elections. So that's how Joe Biden and the Democrats bring up vote, by winning those smaller counties and by turning out votes in Charlotte, Fayetteville, Raleigh, and Greensboro. President Trump, he has to do very well in the rural areas and in the suburbs. So North Carolina is a state that President Trump, to win all these smaller red counties, it would take too long to go over every single one because there's a lot of them, but see, I'm just going around the whole state. Each one of these counties, like Trump is lucky in a way that in North Carolina, a lot of these smaller counties have a decent number of people in them. Like I've only seen like 5 or 6 that have only like a few hundred votes in them. Like most of these are in the tens of thousands of votes. So President Trump can make up the margins of Raleigh, Charlottesville, Fayetteville, and Greensboro. He can make them up with the rural areas alone. It then comes down to the close suburbs to these places. One suburb is like Alamance County. It's near Greensboro, but however, President Trump is able to win it by a decent margin. Go to Raleigh, Wake County, go to Johnson County. It's a rural area, but surrounding. Can President Trump win this county? Can President Trump win Harnett County? Can President Trump win Franklin County? It's these surrounding counties that are more suburban and more rural where President Trump needs to perform well if he's going to win the state. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. There's a bug in here. Robeson County is another suburban county around Fayetteville, as is Bladen County, as in Sampson County. These counties, President Trump needs to really bring up the vote and be competitive in them if he wants to win. Union County's one, Cabarrus County's one, Stanley County's one, Gadsden County's one. President Trump needs to, in terms of a map, he needs to like circle these Democratic voting centers, and then he has to drive out the vote in them to really offset the margins in the bigger cities. So Yeah, so on election night, if Joe Biden's doing well, he's performing very well in Charlotte. Hillary Clinton got 62.3% of the vote. If Joe Biden is above 70% in Charlotte, that's very good news for him. If Joe Biden in Raleigh, he was at Hillary won 57.4. If Biden's above 60 or 65, that is very good news for Biden. President Trump is if the turnout and percentages are lower in Raleigh and Charlotte, and President Trump is doing very well throughout the rural and suburban areas of the state, like a Republican, like he has been expected to do. If President Trump is showing good numbers in these rural suburban areas, then the election's looking very, very good for him in North Carolina. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.